This is the Rise Up Morning Show, and we are live. Take a second. Let us know how you're doing. Retweet the room. Send up an emoji. If you're here on the YouTube stream, leave us a comment. We got a literally shitty show for you today. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Couple of light toilet references in the music.
Got to be one or two.
Yeah, man.
I found an island in your arms, country in your eyes. On the train, line to line, bring on through to the other side. Bring on through to the other side. Bring on through, oh yeah! Plain to see, week to week, day to day, hour to hour. Straight, deep and wide. Bring on through to the other side. Bring on through to the other side. Bring on through, bring on through, bring on through, bring on through.
Whoa, getting hyped this morning. How about that? My friends, welcome. Good now, revolutionaries. This is the Rise Up Morning Show. It's time to wake up and smell the crypto, whether you're listening morning, noon, or night.
Smelling something.
Smelling something. That's right. Trying to break on through to the other side. I thought that was an appropriate song for Yuga Labs for the sewer pass because it's got that other side reference. You know,
you always pick appropriate. I don't know where you find these things. I'm always just like, I'm always wondering. Okay, based on the title, like, what are you going to play today?
Yeah, right.
And
you never know.
I'm always impressed.
Well, can I tell you, Alex, I actually had a little bit of a quandary this morning because there are, in fact, a lot of really good, lightly toilet-themed songs. And so I prepared a quick bonus segment that I'm calling Flushed Away in honor of the sewer pass today. These are the songs that almost made it as the theme song, but didn't. I'm going to rattle them off for you real quick. Top 10 list. Number 1, Can't Keep It In, Cat Stevens. Number 2, Chocolate Rain by Tay Zonday. Number 3, Drop It Like It's Hot by Snoop Dogg. Okay. Number 4, you should talk to your doctor about this one if it's true. Hurts So Good, John Cougar Mellencamp. Of course, Let It Go, Idina Menzel from Frozen. Push It by Salt and Peppa. Runs in the Family by Amanda Palmer. Another one you should talk to your doctor about, Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple.
Cool.
Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie. And finally, Wee Hours.
You know what I've taken from this?
What have you taken from this?
I've taken from this that if the context is right, you can make pretty much anything somehow toilet themed.
Yeah, pretty much, man. I really, I had a good laugh at Wee Hours. I have to admit, and also Smoke on the Water made me laugh.
Wee Hours is a little bit on the nose.
Yeah,
Smoke on the Water is subtle, artistic. I'm concerned for several reasons.
Honorable mention was Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash.
Oh, that, yep.
Definitely honorable mention. So, if you've got a bathroom theme song that should have made it on the playlist, let us know. We're talking about, among other things, the Yuga Labs sewer pass that sold for $1.6 million today. The NFT they found literally in a toilet. So, we had to be on point. We had to be on theme. Let us know what you're thinking about that. Leave us a comment, whether you're here on the YouTube stream, here on the Twitter space, or if you're listening in the future, hello. I hope the weather is good. We're so glad you're here. Alex, do you want to tell them what we have got for them for listening today?
We've got my shutter turning off at random times. We've got the mysterious flashing red icon that will make an appearance somewhere close to the top of the hour. And
mysterious.
Oh, I guess we do the POAP. We do that whole POAP thing too. Hey,
we did prep a POAP for him, and I don't know if you saw this tweet that I shared, but it's the cute little Faceless Many wizard, and he said, "Please come to the Wise Up Moaning Show, or I will hit you with my sword." He wants to go home to your wallet.
I was being married to a speech pathologist. It hurt to hear. I'm just imagining all of the different drills that Christina would need to take that little guy through.
Poor buddy. August, my nephew, he has that speech particularity. He just doesn't connect his tongue for his R's. He says, "Oh." And Kim is always saying that, now that he's in school, it's only a matter of time before some speech therapist gets their hands on him and he comes out talking like this, like a full-grown adult. And she's kind of sad for that day because it's kind of cute.
Well, the secret there is that parent really has to pull the trigger first. There's all those speech therapists, they have, like, Christina's recommended, or her like state caseload or something is like 55. And for pretty much all of her career, she was north of 80. So,
wow.
And, they're like cramming kids in groups to try to get enough, because, they all have, they have to write, they write an IEP, an individualized education plan for each student. And of course, the recommendation is always more therapy than anybody can afford to do time-wise, because there's not enough hours in the week. And of course, they don't just see kids with, articulation problems. That's like one specific subset, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff, because she does, like nonverbal autistic kids and stuff like that too. And they do, like alternate forms of communication. It's a whole myriad of different things. I always thought, before I knew, that it was literally just that. It was just like, problems with R's, problems with S's. All that stuff,
Yep. Yeah.
Anyway, POAP. So POAPs. What the hell is a POAP? POAPs stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol. It's basically just a cool way that you can memorialize the fact that you did a thing by creating a little token in honor of the thing that you did and storing it on a blockchain forever. You do not need a wallet to create one, although you can link a wallet to the POAP app if you would like to. And we've streamlined this whole process for you by integrating it into our Discord server, so that people who listen, not only watch live, can also redeem the POAP in exchange for their time. So, I didn't even see Christina gave you a shout out in the comments there for your song choice, dude. They're always so good. They're always so good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I just saw that too. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with myself. That's the first game I play. I'm like, I gotta pick a song. So
it's one of those things. I'm always sitting here thinking, like, crap, if I was on the spot and had to come up with like a secret word that was appropriate for like today's theme, today's POAP, whatever. And Evan always obviously knocks it out of the park. That's why it helps to have one of these just like ultra creatives as part of your team, because he makes me look good by association every single day.
And you're going to like the secret word today. And in fact, when you put the first and second part of the secret word together,
I just realized I forgot to tell people where to even put this secret word.
Tell them. I'm getting ahead of myself. Go for it.
No, I keep getting
sidetracked. They want to claim this cute little wizard.
I keep getting derailed. So in our Discord, top of the top, you do not need to have any specific roles to see this, except for verifying that you're a human being. There is a channel called the Bot Hub. In that channel, there's a button that says POAP. All you got to do is click the POAP button, and it will prompt you to enter a secret word, the first half of which Evan will give you imminently, the second half of which Evan will give you closer to the top of the hour near the end of the show. Put those two things together, no spaces, no weird nonsense, no capital letters unless Evan screws up, and you'll get yourself a brand new shiny POAP totally for free. You don't have to pay for nothing, no gas, no hidden fees, no resort fees, no service fees.
No batteries required.
No batteries required. Yep. Just add water.
And in fact, I did not screw up today because I made today's secret phrase the answer to a question. The question is, what did Mongrel, who, if you don't know, you'll learn about in a second, say to the guy who bought his sewer pass for $1.6 million? The first part of the secret word, the answer to that question is KISS. 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 And don't try to guess it because I'm tricky here. You gotta wait for the second part of the scene. I know you do. I've
got to guess.
If you got to guess, leave it in the comments and also let us know. What would you do? That's my kind of question for today. I'm going to type it out here so people can see it on YouTube. What would you do with $1.6 million? I feel like I need a Dr. Evil sound for that. $1.6 million kind of thing. That's what I want to know is what would you do with $1.6 million? What do you think?
I was going to launch into just keeping all that in mind, right? Because Mongrel's been all over the place lately because of this, winning the high score. We'll kind of get into that. How did he get this key in the first place? What the hell is the key? But one of the ways that he's being lauded right now is by comparing the payout that he got from selling the golden key to his total career Fortnite earnings as a streamer, as a professional gamer, content creator. And keep in mind, Mongrel is 18 years old.
He's 18?
He's 18.
I didn't know he was that young. Good for this brother.
He's been streaming, and I mean, basically as long as Fortnite's been a thing, right? So he's been like career Fortnite streamer, content creator about 5 years. And he's made more than $700,000 from winning tournaments, from, all of the other, things and bits that, you earn money from as a content creator, as a streamer. And he's being lauded for this $1.6 million payout by saying it's just totally eclipsed. But can we take a second and at least appreciate the fact that, like, even before he did this as an 18-year-old, he was approaching the 7-figure like total earnings from being a beast at Fortnite?
I gave it to him, man.
Yeah,
that is insane. I mean, it's awesome.
Impressive.
My 12-year-old self, I dreamed of being a professional gamer. I think I grew up, and Alex, you were right there with me. I feel like we grew up right at the tail end of an era where there really wasn't a market to be a professional gamer. And you really have stuck. You're a gamer true and true. I kind of like, I spent time doing a lot of other things. I didn't have the time to commit to it. But I think if I was about 5 years younger, I probably could have been a pro Tekken player. I probably could have been, if I wanted to be. Like, there are a couple of, I love, the Gran Turismo games, racing games. I was terrible at first-person shooters. But a game like Sewer Pass, I think I absolutely could have wrecked that game. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't touched it.
Oh,
but
for sure.
I think I could have, if the incentives were there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty common game. It was basically a reskin of a couple other, prominent games. That style has been all over the place. I'm pretty sure.
It reminded me of that trending game that was on Facebook for a while where you're flying through the cave and avoiding it was a left-right scroller instead of like a 3D scroller.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. Jetman, something like that.
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, Neopets had one, RuneScape, or not RuneScape. Cartoon Network's like old school website. The Lego had a gaming hub back in the day. Like all of those, they all had some form of a scroller, right? So it's a specific type of game, whatever. Yeah, I mean, it requires just like super fast reflexes to be good at that kind of stuff. Because I mean, obviously, if you watched any of the streams, if you watched any of the people playing, you could see like it just gets faster and faster and faster. Obstacles get closer and closer and closer, bigger and bigger and bigger. The gaps that you need to shoot just get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So I mean, part of it is a luck component for sure, because at some point, dude, these things are coming at you so fast, you just sort of have to like, intuit and guess. And just like lightning fast reflexes is not easy to do. But yeah, no, I mean, I definitely had, aspirations to be a professional gamer when I was younger too. The second I discovered that, video games were a thing. And of course, being a content creator was not a thing at that point. There was no, YouTube. We weren't streaming. Twitch was, nary a twinkle in Justin Khan's eye, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's the dream. And of course now, I mean, the industry is massive. I mean, what's the esports industry by itself is,
I don't know the market cap.
$400 billion. I want to say it's hundreds of billions.
Yeah. Oh, doubtlessly. So 1.22 billion was 2021, and looks like it's projected to be 1.63 billion this year, with an annual growth rate of 16.1%. So next year,
is that just esports, or
that's just esports specifically? But I don't know what that equates to. This is from Fortune.
Yeah, esports would be like competitive gaming, like in the tournaments and all that sort of stuff. Because there's leagues and teams and all that sort of stuff.
Now, this other source, this is Grandview Research, who does great analysis. Values it at 2 billion in 2021, with an annual growth rate of 21% from 2022 to 2023. And they say in 2022 it was 2.5 billion. So we're talking we're talking by the end of the decade. Where is it going? It looks like they're forecasting 12 to 15 billion by 2030. So huge growth. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Big industry. And then you're talking about some of the esports companies out there. I mean, I know, like, let me see. Yeah, or even companies that aren't just esports, but like gaming companies, man, they're huge. EA, Blizzard, they're ginormous companies.
Bungie, yeah, they're massive.
And
that's that's why, right? Like when we say, I talk about this a lot, and I know it's a little bit of a hot topic, but I'm not bullish on like people who think they're going to just come in and make a new first person shooter. Like, sure, they could be cool, and you might get a few users, that are neat. You might get like a specific community to come in and play because they want to just play with each other and they don't really care what the specific platform is. But like the games that I think are, going to be like of the future, that make it, that, like carve their own niche and attract their own audience, you got to bring something new to the table. Cause like, I'm sorry, you cannot compete with Bungie and Activision when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like, think about how much money, how many people work on the Call of Duty franchise, on the Battlefield franchise, on Fortnite, on any of these things, Halo. Like, I'm sorry, you just can't, right?
It's it's like a movie, like a major motion picture to launch a studio game.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like, even so, Fortnite defied all natural laws of physics by only costing $300,000 to create the original launch, which makes and even that by itself is incredible. That's a tremendous amount of money, right?
Sure.
But like, I mean, dude, I don't know the figure off the top of my head, but I can't imagine how much it costs to like the newest, Modern Warfare, like to completely, create that whole thing. How many people are involved? The credit reel on that thing is insane. So that's why some of these new little Web3 games, I'm seeing a lot of like really interesting stuff where people are genuinely trying to like, create something new. You got to give people a new experience. They want to play your game because they're going to get something from it that they're not going to get from Call of Duty. Whereas if you're trying to just create another cookie cutter FPS and you rendered yourself a trailer using Unreal 5, it looks real sexy, and, there's nothing behind it. You didn't put, the effort into good math and all of the different, specifics that need to go into making an FPS good. That's what these giant studios do. Not going to make it, in my humble opinion.
Not going to make it. I miss doing this, but since we're talking about the topics, I do want to give you a little bit of a bumper. We're talking about the news, folks. And if you don't know, here, we like to do
rapid fire crypto news.
That's exactly right. You know, I wasn't going to miss a chance to hit the soundboard, even though we're a little premature or post-mature. Post-Malone? I don't know. The stat I wanted to give before I asked you a question is, so let me give some context for people. We're talking about Sewer Pass. We're talking about Dookie Dash. And more broadly, we want to talk about blockchain gaming because this is something Alex certainly has spent a lot of time thinking about working on. And folks, if you're in the Twitter space, I know we've got Tristan on YouTube. I think Christina's on YouTube. Welcome if you're on YouTube. Leave us a comment about this. And if you're in the Twitter space and you want to share a thought about this, I would like to hear it. I see we've got Neil, we've got Roberto, we got Jawik, we got a bunch of regular people here who have good insights about this kind of stuff. Blockchain gaming, the buzzword, and people are saying about this Sewer Pass sale, you know, sold an NFT for $1.6 million. This is the future of blockchain gaming. And I don't know that I personally think that one for one NFT prize is the only form it could take, or that most games will look like this one. So with that in mind, though, before I ask you, Alex, what you think some of those features or functionalities, gameplay styles like that are native to blockchain will look like, I wanted to just drop a stat for the naysayers. For people who are still unconvinced about the value of gaming, a current event, the release of the Hogwarts Legacy game, just a comparison.
Yep.
The Hogwarts movies, blockbusters, absolute blockbusters. But the Hogwarts Legacy game is the most successful, the best-selling Warner Brothers game launch ever, with sales of $850 million, almost $1 billion in the first 2 weeks, 12 million copies. For comparison, every Hogwarts movie, every Harry Potter movie in its first 2 weeks did the top movie, I don't remember which one it was, but I was reading just here. Let me see if I can scroll back. It was a content gated article. $250 million. So almost 4 times as much money in the first 2 weeks as any Harry Potter movie is this game. So games have serious potential if they're fun, if they hit that nostalgia factor, if they tap into a great story to reach people. But Alex, what do you think? And you know, everybody here, Neil, Jawik, Jower, Bobby, everybody, what do you think are going to be the characteristics of blockchain games that you know will make them not just fun to play, but new, different, better? What do you think? Or even in the other direction, worse, like can you make a suckier game with blockchain? I don't know.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's unhelpful. What do you
think?
No,
I to be honest, I think it's way easier to make a shitty blockchain game. Starting with the title blockchain game, we're focusing on the wrong thing. Someone who does a really good job of talking about this is Bryson, and you know, content creator, streamer, gamer, Web3 advocate, right? And he says it really well. Same kind of stuff that we've been talking about, Evan.
Mm-hmm.
Your game is going to suck if you're trying too hard to make it Web3 and blockchain, because you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're focusing on the hype cycle of cryptocurrency, you know, moonshots, according to whichever buzzword is trending. Like, sure, you know, okay, gaming is hot, AI is hot, whatever. I don't care. You know, all of those dumb trends in crypto that people follow, the meme cycle trends. All you have to do, it's simple, but it's really hard. All you have to do is just make a fun game. That's it. And in order for something to be considered fun, people have to think about it when they're not playing it. They have to look forward to coming in and playing it. And they have to talk about it with their friends. And they have to be able to, you know, express some sort of creativity in playing it. Like Magic. I'm a diehard Magic player. I've collected the cards, I build decks, and I play with my friends regularly. And it's because when I'm not playing, I can be thinking about, like, I want to put this kind of deck together. I want it to have this kind of reaction, this kind of interaction. My friend's been playing a lot of this lately. How can I counter this? I'm getting kicked, you know, I'm getting my ass kicked by this and that, whatever. This is a new mechanic, blah, 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 blah. There's so many intricacies and so many different ways that I can take it and make it my own experience. And I'm sorry, but like, most games suck because you don't get that experience. Think about how many games there are, right? Like, anyone who has an Xbox has, you know, probably at one point looked through like the Xbox One or just the game store or whatever, and like scroll through the free things, or just go through like your Steam dashboard and look at all of the games there are thousands of games, and you would never even consider playing 90% of them because it's just a reskin of someone else's thing, but like with worse quality. And, you know, why would anyone waste their time doing it? So the thing that we need to focus on more than anything is pulling the blockchain and Web3 and NFT and crypto and all of that specific crap out of it and just make a cool game first, and then figure out a way to integrate the Web3 ethos into your game down the road. But if you start with that and you sell that to people, you're already starting, you know, handicapping yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So first,
I will absolutely die on this hill.
and
100%.
second, our friend Neil has come up to the stage. I want to get his reaction on this after I tell you that his answer to the question, what would you do with $1.6 million, was pay off the house, open a dog sanctuary, and buy a shit ton of e-gold.
There you
Can't
go.
say I think that's a bad plan. Hey, man, you know, Neil, when you hit the millions, let me come play with the puppies. Oh, and let me tell you real quick before you go, Neil, I just had to get this in there because I'm so proud and happy. I am excited to tell you that today is my dog Lucy's 8th birthday. She made it. She made it, my friends, to 8 years old. She's in the prime of her life.
Hell
So
bullish on Lucy.
from Lucy to everyone, thanks for taking good care of my my dad. Anyway, Neil, brother, I gave you a lot. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Good morning, Evan. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning to you.
So my topic completely changed. What are you doing special for Lucy today?
Oh,
What
man.
special treats? What special treats is she getting? Is she getting a special dinner?
Yeah.
Is she going to her favorite park, or taking her on her, maybe a couple extra walks today?
So, okay, Lucy, first of all,
hey, careful with the W word. I got.
Yeah, you're saying bad words. Yeah,
Let's
first
go for a walk.
Right, and let's play ball. Yeah, Lucy lives a really good life already. Like, we walk, all around our neighborhood all the time. Everybody thinks she's so cute. All the dogs want to talk to her. If I'm, cooking something that involves a piece of chicken, usually some of it winds up in her mouth. But today we will absolutely go for it's a sunny day right now, a couple of nice sunny day walks. Her favorite thing in the world to do is play ball, so we'll play some ball. We've got a couple of park dates going on this week. In our house, we really believe in like birthday weeks at the minimum, mostly birthday months. And so she'll probably get some tasty dinner tonight. I have she loves meat, you name it, plus like a little vegetable, a little sweet potato, a little pea. So I'll probably make her some of that. That was kind of my plan. Birthday souffle kind of thing. Thank you for asking.
Charcuterie board for her.
Yeah, why not, right?
No, that's great. How to make blockchain gaming bad?
Mm-hmm.
Alex hit it on the head. Yeah, call it a NFT cryptocurrency game, and nobody will end up playing that thing, except for us in the space potentially. How to make it good? Tradable assets, I think, is a huge missed opportunity, and I'm probably stealing all of Alex's TikTok points that he's made in the past, but being able to, if you're grinding on X game and you've acquired, skins or skills or weapons, being able to have secondary resale value, I think that's where you can then look to implement blockchain technology. But guess what? Nobody cares about blockchain technology, so don't tell them about it. Just secure it on the blockchain, prove its provenance, and that's how I would do it. So I am stepping off to work, but I just wanted to say good morning to you guys, and I always have an opinion on something. So
we appreciate it.
Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, Neil. Good morning and good now. It's great to hear your voice, man. And Alex, I wanted to ask you to comment on that thought, because Neil voiced exactly what I was thinking. If the game is fun, great, but you said you spend time outside of the game thinking about the game, and you've got friends, you've got a culture, just have a game that you sit down and play one time. So how do we, aside from, play to earn, how do we make it fun outside the game experience? How do we create culture for a game? I think Neil's onto a point with like own your items for sure.
Your in-game assets and your items and being able to trade and all that sort of stuff is, for me, and I haven't had that before, I'll lose all my progress. I won't have anything to show. Ask yourself is just like, what is your game? Like, well, but like, like what's the point? So you have a couple options.
Okay.
There are love in games is being able to flex your creativity. There's a ton of games built creative, right? Like go all the way back to Sims, Roller Coaster Tycoon, and there was a whole bunch of other tycoons. Any RPG is creative based. Dungeons and Dragons is unbelievably creative focused. Warhammer, all of these games, like I have to think about what kind of a character, what kind of a team I'm going to put together. How do I want my character to interact with the rest of the board, with the rest of the people, whatever. There's trending metas. There's meta stands for most effective tactic available.
I had no idea. Is that really true?
Yeah. Or technique or tactic? It's whatever is, what's the strongest play right now? Yeah, there you go.
I had no idea it was an acronym, bro. I just thought it was like, the sub or beyond the game strategy, the meta, the under. Blew my mind, bro. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
There you go. And so then you have to ask, okay, so, do I want to build something that is going to, tickle the creative fancy of my player? And that's like what I'm doing, right? Because I love that. I can stand, just ask Christina. I can stand at that table right there in front of all of those cards for hours and just read cards and like I have them sorted all into tiny little piles. I'm like, okay, this is a cool interaction at the same time, whatever. I told you it was going to happen.
And people would just think you're being polite and you're in the bathroom kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
And hopefully be concerned if I'm flushing routinely every couple minutes while sitting in the darks. Anyway, but that's not the only method, so maybe you're not trying to create this game where people Fortnite, I am having fun. The day is going to be whatever.
Sure.
I'm not thinking about something specific when I'm outside of it. Like, how can I best improve? And competitive gamers, of course, are always thinking about that. But, as someone casual. So you just have to make sure that like whatever it is that you're trying to give them, that's your focus. So if you want them to have fun in the moment, then there's got to be a lot of stuff going on in the game. A lot of different things that they can like, oh, well, I'm going to go over here and do this. I'm going to go over here and do that. I'm going to play this today. I'm going to do that today, whatever. And if you want them to be creative, you got to have a lot of options. You got to think really hard about all the different interactions between all of the different characters and their different traits and attributes and blah, 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 and game composition, yada, yada, so. And then in no way, shape, or form does the NFT or the token or whatever come into play until after I have all those questions answered.
Yeah. Okay. The thing you didn't touch on that I got to touch on, and I'm not sure how to incorporate from a blockchain angle. I have one thought that I think is an integral part of any entertainment is really, the story, or it.
Yeah.
It's one avenue for, and there are different kinds of storytelling, but if we're just talking straight narrative, some of the best game stories that I personally have experienced are so simple. And this is true in a lot of storytelling mediums. In film, sometimes you'll read a screenplay and you'll be like, that's it, that's the line. And then you'll watch the scene and you'll see everything that the lighting adds, that the actors add, that the movement of the camera adds. There's no text and it tells you everything because of how it's relayed. The story of Mario is so simple. There's no language hardly. There's like 5 lines. Sorry, Mario, your princess is in another castle. That's the script, but it's an iconic story. I think about most RPGs that I love that even have scripts and dialogue, like a Final Fantasy or something. Even those stories are so simple, but because you are spending time, because it's playable, invested in the action of the game, these characters don't need to have like a magnum opus of dialogue. You are invested in them because literally you are investing in them. But I'm curious, one of the things I think about is how blockchain as a system of storing and accessing information can be just a technical solution for gamers. I remember one time I was playing Pokemon on Game Boy. I was 8 years old.
Iconic.
And I don't know what I had done. I was fighting Team Rocket somewhere in the game, and all of a sudden the screen went blank and I couldn't get it to turn back on. The batteries had died. And so I called my dad, and I'm like crying on the phone. I'm like, oh my God. And then he's like, it's okay. We got some new batteries, and the state of the game, it was like, I don't know. I had stuff over.
Yep.
Or, I've had memory corrupted or whatever, but seems like a natural fit, right?
Oh, that's such a relatable experience. Anyone who's ever played a game has that moment where something happens and you're like, oh my God, when was the last time I saved? I vividly remember being like in Skyrim and being like, I'm gonna take this shortcut. I can totally make this fall. Like, I'm gonna hop off this cliff, and you hop, and it's a little taller than you think, and you die, and you're like, oh, wait a second. I haven't saved yet today. And you just finished. So then you're all of a sudden that respawn comes in and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And that's one thing. That's kind of, I think a lot of some games I've been seeing incorporate the whole blockchain thing, like as a means of storing like any and all game data. And it's just so slow and clunky. And it's like, so milestones, sure. But like, the way that we're looking at adding a layer of tokens into the Syndicate games with the milestones is that like, once you've accomplished a milestone, that particular feat is rewarded with a token, so that if all game data got scrubbed on accident, or if something catastrophic happened and we lost all of it, you would still have that, and we could restart, redeploy, and be like, okay, well, we're going to be able to put all of you at the milestone that you are holding token wise, up, and you can get credit for that. So that would be one cool way that you can integrate it.
That makes
in retrospect, I would have loved to have had more built out before we minted the main collection, to have the free-to-play version first. But to be completely honest, we never imagined that it was going to be this popular or take off like this, or be this much of a primary focus. And it's just kept snowballing and snowballing. So now we are slowing down on like the token use and release and whatever, and Willem and I are working on the free-to-play version.
Well, you talk about the free-to-play, and then Tristan says here in the YouTube comments for our folks on Twitter, not sure if there's a card game in the US, but it'd be awesome to be able to print the corrupted NFTs in that format. And Alex, something you were saying on our team call the other day was you were like, about the conversation you had with a guy who said, oh, I can get a game piece. It's an NFT. How much does it cost? And he said, oh, it's only $20 right now. And he said, $20? And your revelation that a $20 Magic card is like a piece of gold. Yeah. Most of them are a couple of cents. And we're thinking, I know, of not just expanding in the direction of free to play, check it out, but also like, how can you get your hands on more game pieces, on booster packs? And I've always thought that would be the most fun for me, would be if I get a booster pack of I enjoy the game in the Discord, but there's just something great about the touch, tactile touch.
You remember this?
He's going for the Magic cards, guys. Get out of here. Listen. Leave the space, exit the space. This is going to go. I'll be here in 12 hours. Come check back. Oh my, Alex, you're back.
You did this.
What you got for us?
Now, to be totally honest, I'm not going to waste too much time looking for this.
No, I'm just picking.
I can't remember which binder it's in.
Which binder? Yeah, right. As he flips through a tome that is 12 inches thick over here, 50 pounds.
I got it.
50 pounds. Yeah, show me, bro.
So this right here. Hang on. I got to do the whole.
For everyone on Twitter, we're looking at a card, and describe it to us, Alex.
So this is from the DC universe. It's a card of one of the Flash characters from the whole comic book world, but it's by this company called Hero. There's a QR code on the back. So we were at a conference, and they were handing out booster packs, and you got to rifle through whatever the open pack was and pick out a card. You could scan the card with your Hero app, and then you got the token for it. And so, immediately,
cool.
It was super cool. It was a very cool experience to be able to like rip open a booster pack and have every single thing in there be an actual card. And then on the back, there was my token claim of it, so that I could carry 2 copies. One in my book, because obviously I'm a big fan of, I got tons of these things. That's a little binder. The big ones are over there. But That was super cool. I would love to do something like that, dude. That would be awesome. And that's kind of the natural way that like Corrupted would scale, right?
Yeah.
A mint of super cheap and affordable like booster pack, and I'm talking like the same way that a Magic booster pack is. It's like $3, and inside of it you get like 12 to 15 game pieces, right? And then maybe you're going to pull a super rare one out, whatever. That's like cracking packs is a super fun thing to do. So it opens up the world to like so many new possible combinations and new types of characters and whatever, but it's easily accessible. Someone can grab it or whatever, or go on I want someone to be able to go on the secondary market and like get a deck worth of characters for like, a couple pennies to get some cheap ones, just kind of screw around with whatever. So yeah, that was a big realization is, like you're looking at, the cost of something. And one of my buddies who's a big Magic player too, he was like, okay, well, how much do the pieces cost? And I was like, I think you could probably get one for like $15 right now. And he's like, oh wow, that's the cheapest one. And I was like, yeah, I guess when you say it like that, that's, something. But yeah, I mean, I think that's naturally how it scales. We're a ways off, you need a lot. We have plenty for our player base right now, and it's way more worth it to build the free to play version and to give our current players just way more and more features and all that stuff. But
right. And it's not like we're going in. What I love about hearing you talk about it is it's apparent from the subtext of your voice that like, this is, we would love to give you tomorrow the fully produced Blizzard Activision EA thing, but also like we're talking about down the road.
Yeah,
we're getting there step by step. You have a clear vision for this, and it's not like you're excited about it, but you're not in any hurry because you want to do it right, you want to do it well, you want to make it make sense. I love that.
That's how I knew we were on the right track. The second Brian Jerb came up to me, he's like, "Hey, I want to start writing articles about the game and like deck techs and strategy guides. Is that cool?" And I was like, "Yeah, Brian, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard." I've inspired a content creator about the game that I'm making, which is a wild feeling.
So if you're listening to this episode now or in the future and you're not playing the Corrupted yet, I would invite you to check out the Discord link in our profile. It's discord.gg/themany, where you can find all the resources to get started with Corrupted, the Syndicate games, and of course our Medium. If you search for Faceless Labs on Medium, you can find a lot of helpful articles and Gerb's sweet deck tech bits. More coming soon all the time. We would love your feedback and would just love if you're a part of the blockchain gaming community or gaming curious, getting into NFTs, you got a place with us. And in fact, we have a gift for you for being here today. And this gets asked a lot, so I do want to say that our POAPs are claimable for up to a month. So this episode is airing on March 1st. You can use the secret word that you've collected from the show today to claim this POAP for up to a month in our Discord server. If you missed the first part of this, you need another explanation, just scroll back through pinned tweets at the top, or if you're on YouTube, look at the description below. Couldn't be easier to claim your POAP featuring that adorable Faceless Many wizard. That's one of the archetypical characters. There are a couple of more we're going to show you before the launch in have we dropped the date? It's later this month. We have a date in mind. Oh, we don't have a date. Well, I'm not going to tell you then. We have one internally we're working with, so you just got to wait and guess. But we're dropping vouchers this week.
The toy box. The toy box will go out Friday, but yeah, we can talk about that after this.
More on that in a second. I also want to get your reactions on base. We talked about base on Monday, but I have a little update to share and then want to get Alex's feedback. But first, the second part of the secret word, the complete answer to the question, what did Mongrel say when someone bought his Sewer Pass NFT for $1.6 million? The second part of the secret phrase is my pass. MYPASS. Put it together with the first part of the secret word, all lowercase, no spaces, at the Bot Hub in our Discord to claim your POAP. You can take that adorable little mini wizard home. And speaking of NFTs, oh, he's got him. What a cute little guy. Speaking of NFTs, I did want to show you a new NFT that I'm excited about that you can claim also for free, plus gas. And I want to talk about the implications of it as we unpack this. So for the folks who are watching on YouTube, let me present this little screen to you. I've got it pinned to the top of the space. Coinbase has just announced that they're building a layer 2 platform called Base that is going to be their solution to bring the next billion users onto the blockchain. Jesse Pollock, the lead developer, is saying that on-chain is the new online. And to commemorate this initiative, they have launched, well, you don't need to see the little advertisement there, they have launched a free NFT that is evolving over the next 5 days. You can claim it at mint. I believe it's mint.base.org. Check the tweet I've got at the top there. Look for @buildonbase. That's their official account. You can claim this NFT for free plus gas. And every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for the next 5 days, the artwork is going to evolve to tell another part of the story of this endeavor that they're undertaking on. And I did find this noteworthy. I did not know this until today. This is from Decrypt, an article that says Coinbase drops free Ethereum NFT via Zora to mark Base network launch. The free NFT has become Ethereum's biggest gas guzzler. 24,000 editions minted at the time of that article, but right now there have been 300. When I minted, it was like 350,000 had been minted. So it's consumed a lot of gas, but one of the advantages they say of Base is that it's building on Optimism's OP stack to scale the Ethereum network. It's going to be way more efficient. Ether is the token that you will use. They're not doing their own token. And hopefully, because of that efficiency, you're not going to have even a $5 gas fee. You're going to have something more like a Polygon gas fee using Ether. What a consummation, as Hamlet would say, devoutly to be wished. Alex, I talked a lot about it on Monday. We've talked a little about it behind the scenes. I would really love to know your take on this, because my take is that this is like some of the biggest news we've had in crypto since I've been in it.
I think it's big. Yeah, for sure. There's a cool checklist on the Base. There it is.
Your little red button. Yeah,
dude,
it heard you say, I think it's big for sure. I'm going to clip that sound.
live stream bingo, right? Like
we should do a bingo card. Oh my God.
My soundboard voice. We could totally come up with my shutter turning off, this flashing red icon, whole myriad of different things. That
Evan laughs loudly into the microphone. Yeah.
Evan says, "My brother," and
my brother.
after you've gotten a dozen "my brothers," that's definitely a square checked off.
Yeah, that's got to go in the comments. I just pinned that to the space. What's going on the Rise Up bingo card? Anyway, please continue.
I totally agree with you, dude. I think it's huge. The checklist that they have on the main website is pretty eye-opening when you look at their different milestones of achievement for how many users did they get here, how many users did they get here, at what point have they kicked it up to the next level. And I'm super stoked. I believe that a group like the Coinbase team or whatever has the capacity to get to that billion person mark. That's sort of a buzz phrase. Elron says the same thing, onboarding the first billion or whatever. It'll be impressive to see if anyone can come close to pulling that off. But yeah, I've been around the Base Discord lately.
That's right.
Yeah, there's definitely some active people in there that are pretty excited. A lot of people right now are talking about, of course, the NFT. And there's the classic, litany of people complaining. It's incredible how many people will sit there and complain about a free NFT. But there's a lot of people saying they were mad because Coinbase extended the window to claim it by a little bit, and so everyone was upset about that.
Right. Not as rare as it used to be.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you know what? It's free. So the point right now is not. This is the kind of NFT I'm honestly most bullish on. Right.
Me too.
It's not intended to force value down your throat by selling it to you for $10,000. It's just no, it's free. Here, take one.
No, and it's it's like the million person NFT that I'm always talking about. It is we're gonna look back on this in our scrapbooks and be like, oh man, I was one of hundreds of thousands. When there are billions of people on the blockchain, we're gonna be like, man, do you remember when it was just a couple 100,000 of us and we all have the NFT to show for it? Yeah,
that's the thing I keep coming back to about just we go all day on this kind of thing, but like, minting quantity sizes, like, sure, right now a 10,000 piece collection seems big, but like if you're actually trying to plan for the future, dude, someone's got to launch. Like, that's why when someone asked me, like, would you scale Corrupted into another collection? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. But it's going to have like 150,000 pieces minimum, for a couple cents a piece kind of thing, because otherwise, like what I'm capping how many people can play my game. There's only 4,032 Corrupted. Is that in anyone's head? Do they think that that's like a scalable thing?
In what world would Netflix be like, oh, whoa, we're at 10,000 subscriptions, we're not going to take any more money?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
What? No.
One of our very first consulting clients, Evan, you remember the fitness thing.
Yep.
Very first thing they said is they wanted to do an NFT for membership. I'm like, okay, well, we got to think about that, because obviously you can't. It doesn't work quite the way that you're thinking, because otherwise you would limit how many subscriptions you could have on your platform total, and you cap it. They're like, oh yeah, I guess that's true. Like, yeah, of course, Planet Fitness would never sell their membership as a limited NFT. You would like to cap how much revenue you're going to make by selling more memberships?
There's one right now on Elrond, Multiverse X, that's like, I don't know, it's like AI generated 3D. The art is so dope. If you're listening, I don't remember it's like S-Fit Human or something like that. If they're listening, no hate. I don't know you personally. I'm just picking on you because I love you. But like the utility is, if you own one of these tokens, you get access to the app. And I think there's 10,000 of them. And I'm like, so, okay. So you sold access to an app for like $50. Good for you. That's cool. Hope it's a great app. What are you going to do when you need to make more money to launch V2 or hire another developer? Oh, there he is. Bill, listen, I have missed you today. I have almost opened the sound window here in Twitter to get some bings and some darns and what have you. But I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it because it made me so sad. So I'm really glad you're here, man.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm sorry I'm late. Just hold on one second. Here we go.
He has arrived.
He's catching up from last time.
Yeah, you're caught up, dude. Yeah.
I'm sure all of those applied at some point already. So
they did. And I actually had a special sound I wanted to share with you. We today talked about the Sewer Pass NFT for Dookie Dash. And I made this sound especially so that we could share it with people. I don't know if you've got that one on Twitter, but
Yeah, we got
Of course.
I've never used it, but so my anticipation and expectation, Evan, is that you'll cut and paste those sounds that I just did in a row and just put them where you need to, and the final version goes up.
Yeah, genius.
Right?
That's exactly right. I'm going to painstakingly pop every one of those into place. Are you with some little birds right now, Bill? Is that bird song I hear?
No, it might have been me laughing.
Oh, it might be. I think I've got birds over here. I was picturing you in some idyllic environment and was really happy for you.
Where am I?
Where are you? You're on the toilet.
I'd like to be someone other than all this snow.
Oh yeah, snow. Yeah, I guess there is a lot of snow. The snow's done here. It's definitely done where Alex is.
It's 80 degrees yesterday.
Jeez, man.
Yeah,
So
31 right now. More snow in the way. But anyway, go ahead. Proceed.
I can answer that question, Evan. What are you going to do when you need to make more money? You're going to dilute your holder base by going against what you originally advertised and backpedaling to come up with a new plan to drop yet another collection.
Yeah, exactly. Someone in the marketing department heard that and they're like, guys, write that down. That's genius.
That was one of the first, specifically NFT business related videos that I ever made, because I heard Mark Cuban make the point, and he summarized it beautifully on stage at the North American Bitcoin Conference last year in Miami. And he was just like, if your business solely relies on the selling of NFTs and you're trying to sell these like limited edition types of NFTs rather than using an NFT, he didn't go quite into detail, but like, what do you mean? Rather than using an NFT to signify the actual thing you're selling, but you're just selling limited edition PFPs. The only business model that you have is one of limited life expectancy, because you have to constantly dilute your holders every single time you need to bring in more revenue. And then all these freaking collections paint themselves into this corner where you have one of two choices. You can either dilute people forever, or you would have to come up with something new and creative and different to do, which then wouldn't sell into the hype cycle, and you might not mint out as many as you would if you could just, I don't know, I could rant all day about.
We both could listen.
Yeah.
And we will. One of the shows we want to do in the future is we really want to, we were talking the other day, we were looking at the .swoosh website, which if you haven't seen it, like,
so good.
What are you doing? It is the sexiest Web3 project website. Somebody at Nike needs a pay raise. Probably many somebodies at Nike.
Go count how many times they wrote the word NFT on the .swoosh page.
Yeah. Good luck finding it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we want to do an episode in the future where we really highlight some approaches. And we were talking about corporate approaches that businesses who are smaller can copy, businesses, enterprise businesses can copy. But also, I think we should talk in that episode. I'm seeing a lot of artists, especially. And this is kind of a theme that we've noticed since the start, I would say, of the NFT boom, that artists especially are like, oh, NFTs sell? Let me put my work into an NFT. Let me protect it with an NFT, create an NFT for, whatever. And then they say it's not selling. I was speaking to an artist yesterday that I've been in a couple of spaces with, and I really wanted the chance to have a deeper conversation because they have an offline audience. They started out doing one-of-ones, and when those didn't sell so well, they started doing open editions. I went to their OpenSea profile, and they have a couple of NFT art pieces that are cool, cool pieces of art, but there's like hundreds of thousands of them. And I think they had 4.8 million in this collection. And I was like, on one hand, we're talking about how if you got customers and you want to make revenue, you need to have a product for them to buy. But here's a person who has like a couple thousand people in a social media audience. I don't know how many collectors they have online. And so the approach that works for Peloton or your fitness app or whatever is probably not the same approach an artist would use to bring value to their collectors. It's all about incentives. It's all about your situation. It's all about your community. It's all about what you actually want to do. So we're going to do a show on that soon, highlighting what was the purpose, what was the goal, did they meet the goal, how did they do it, kind of thing. Just to give you some good examples, because we talk about it a lot, but we love nerding out on this stuff. Alex, you look concerned. Are you concerned?
Always.
Or you're just thinking.
I'm trying
you were in the focus.
Trying to be conscious of everybody's. We constantly do this. We constantly open up these topics that could so easily be 4-hour-long diatribes. But yeah, I mean, what I will say is, like Evan and I were talking about with the .swoosh stuff yesterday. As we were bringing all that up, and there's a couple good examples because obviously Starbucks killed it too. There's a right way and a wrong way to do this. And I didn't know, but Daniel, Crypto is Good, let me know that Nike has been planning for this and preparing for their Web3 entry since 2015.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's no wonder that they killed it.
And something else I heard the other day that I wanted to share with our team, because we're talking all the time about like what businesses can we reach out to, what brands. I heard someone say, before you take 2 steps forward, take 1 step back. I think it was Mark Randolph, entrepreneur here on Twitter. And what he meant was, if you are in a new industry, like a consultant in cryptocurrency, and you're looking at these companies that haven't gotten into it yet, he said, you should take a step back. And don't assume that they haven't heard about it, that they don't know about it. He said, these are huge conglomerates, most of them. They have people who know about this stuff, and they probably know more about it than you do because they've been studying it longer. If they're in supply chain or they're in art distribution or gaming or whatever. And there's another reason. Maybe they have a bias. Maybe they're an incumbent and they want to preserve the way things are. But there's likely another reason that might be a hole in the plan of implementing this. He said, so 1, think about what that hole is to come up with a novel solution, and 2, whether the solution is even something that they really need in the first place. I thought that was really good advice. Real quick, we do have one more thing that we wanted to talk to you about, but before we do, I have to share. Neil is coming through in the clutch. The first thing Neil asked is, how has X Portal not been mentioned yet? So we should probably talk about that on Friday's show. The new Multiverse X wallet experience. We finally got in yesterday. after about 7 hours of please be patient, which, you know, I get it.
It's
It
launch day.
happens.
Nothing works on launch day.
Yeah, totally. Hello, this is Multiverse X. Thank you for waiting. It's pretty smooth though, right?
Yeah, I mean, now that I don't know, I had a weird problem with it because like mine finished the migration early, but then it wouldn't let me import. It just and the annoying part was that like I couldn't communicate to help because they didn't have an option for like my specific problem, and there's no type feature in the I need help thing, so it's just kind of weird. Luckily, I happened to have a direct line to some of the individuals who like helped launch the whole thing, so just texted one of them like, "Hey, dude, fix my shit." But
yeah, they also need an easier address book. I don't have a good experience with the address book yet. You know, like the common addresses I use, like my KuCoin eGold wallet or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm giving it some time because, you know, I need to get used to the new interface and all that sort of stuff.
Definitely.
And I think hypercritically of things like this, just because like we're also building a UX with what we're doing, you know, making sure that there's a good user experience. And if the thing that you're trying to do is like onboard the everyday person into this space, then you've got to knock that out of the park. And so, you know, I admit that I'm a little overcritical of stuff like that, just because the import process sucked. I have nothing else to say about it. I think that other people had a better experience with it, but like,
yeah,
little teeny things. I'll get super nitpicky. When you type in your seed phrase, it's like, you know, little text box at the bottom, you type in the first word and it like, you know, auto fills whatever, and you tap like, yep, I want to officially enter that word to help you mitigate spelling errors, which is a really great feature.
I do like
this
that.
one, it never backspaced the thing that you wrote originally.
Oh, so it like left it there?
It left it there. So then you had to go back down to the text box and backspace the thing that you just wrote every single time. And it's a 24-word phrase. So it takes a while. And if, heaven forbid, you're like me and it doesn't work the first time for some reason, you get to go back and do it again and again and again and again. And one thing that I'll never understand, this is a mission. Like this is, I hate this so much that I actually am going to send a text and ask someone in charge about it because I think it's so bad. So when you do it, and this, I love this about Elrond, when you first make the wallet, they make you say this little thing like, I understand if I share my secret phrase, I'll lose my money. And then you have to like rearrange those words to form the sentence after you've agreed to it 3 times, right? Like it's great. Like beat that into your head. Like, yes, don't share your secret phrase with anyone.
Oh, see, I hate that. I mean,
like, I get it. It's one of those things. Like you do that once and you should be done. Like you should get it by then, right? Repeat it 3 times. One of the first steps in the Multiverse X quest to like complete the beginner onboarding quest is to back up your secret phrase on Google Drive.
What?
It's a thing. You cannot complete the Multiverse X onboarding quest unless you back up your secret phrase on a Google Drive. Can someone explain to me why that's a thing? Why did I just complete the rigmarole of, yes, I understand if I share my secret phrase with anyone, I'll lose my money, but don't worry, upload it to the cloud. It'll be fine. It's just stupid.
No.
Like, I will look the other way. I'm not going to complain about any issues. I've launched stuff that didn't work on launch day.
Yeah.
I'll never fault a developer for not having it perfect on launch day.
For
this
sure.
is a huge launch. This was a huge.
Yeah, it's monumental.
It's humongous. But someone explain that to me, because that's the stupidest thing I could imagine, short of, you know, taking a picture of it with your phone and like making it your wallpaper.
Write it down. Yeah.
Don't share it with anyone, just upload it to Google. I was like, okay. So I'll never complete the quest.
Question, guys.
Yeah, go for it, Bill.
Yeah.
What is all the stuff you had to do to get the new app? All I did was download the app and voila, I was in.
Well, that must be nice.
There was no seed phrase to add.
I didn't have to import my
phone number. Nothing. It was just.
Well, let me tell you a tale about my entire day yesterday, because I I got frozen on the migration screen, and I was just seeing everybody on Twitter like already making avatars and doing all this, that, and the other thing, whatever. It's like, okay, something's wrong. Like mine is frozen because it's not progressing. And the text was all layered on top of each other. So like it was broken. Something was broken. So I uninstalled and reinstalled the app. So I knew I was going to have to re-import the wallet because I was starting from scratch. So got to the import, did the import. It said it worked. And then it texts you a code to like for your 2FA authorization to log in. And it just sent me a code, a 6-digit code. I type in the 6-digit code and it's like, oh, something went wrong. Hit the button below to try again. There's no button below. The interface was broken. And then the app got frozen on that screen. And the only way to get it back to the beginning and try again was to uninstall and reinstall the app again. And I remember having this problem with MyR, where it just didn't, like it texted me a code, you type in the code and it's like, that's not the right code, try again. And you're like, what? It's 6 digits. Like I'm capable. I remember that it happened and there's no fix other than just do it over and over and over again. And if you opened the X portal, like help desk, the little bot chat thing that could give you things, and you find the closest thing to that problem, the only solution they had was try again. And if that doesn't work, try it again. If that doesn't work, try it again. So it took me 6 times uninstalling and reinstalling, and just magically on the 6th time, it just worked. And now it's good.
Bill, just wanted you to know, I did get the note to make I'm capable a sound. Are there any others that I missed?
There has to have been 2 or 3 in there.
I think what that's going to be is another meeting where we kind of go through that and maybe do it in half X speed and just really figure something out in there, because it's got to be something else.
Yeah, I agree. Neil had that too. He said first of all, Neil contributed. Thank you, Neil, for this. Going on the Rise Up Morning Show bingo card is going to be 1, show does not start on time. 2, Alex complains about his tech setup. 3, Evan eating with the mic on. Alex goes on a 5-minute rant on a hyper-specific niche. 5, quote, brother, quote, Alex soundboard used 10 plus times, and IRL dog reference. And then Neil commented and said, and there is Alex's rant on a hyper-specific topic. So, hey, man, your bingo cards are off to a good start.
I can't argue with a single one of those, and I'm feeling very attacked.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make one. That might have to be the POAP. I think it could be fun. I don't know. Let's think about how to distribute that, because I would absolutely play morning show bingo.
I can tell you right now, this could be an activity in the boardroom, and I will so happily kick in prizes for it. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Good idea. Morning show bingo. Now, okay, so we've gone over already, and everybody, you're so kind to stay with us. We love getting to share with you. We love doing this work, educating, entertaining, and we wanted to talk to you about the show. We wanted to talk to you about our platform. We're trying to figure out as we move forward. Faceless Labs is a scrappy startup. I don't think that's any secret. We are working to try and build what we call the financial revolution to fulfill our mission to empower the faceless many. Because as one person told me recently, it's hard to hear financial revolution and Starbucks gift card in the same sentence, and I can't disagree with that. I heard that and I was like, oh,
yep.
And that's not the fulfilled vision. Like, it's like Alex's game vision. We are going to be working on building this kind of thing step by step, sustainably, as innovatively as we can, so it doesn't break, and so that it's really a platform that billions of people can stand on.
The coffee is just helping us get there.
The coffee is just helping us get there. And this is a lot of fun for us.
Yeah.
But we were talking about how can we really make it the best, do the most. We have the Rise Up Morning Show. We have the Rising Up podcast. And Alex, help me out here with this. We're still kind of working out the details.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're thinking about is we ask a lot of everyone's time and attention. There he goes. He's going dark. We ask a lot of everyone's time and attention. And we always want you to feel like you're getting a good return on your investment. We have been talking about trying to kind of blend the two platforms together so that the formats are distinct still. You've got this kind of morning show bantery format. We've got guests coming in and out. People can ask their crypto questions. It's a good, trusted source. And then we've got a longer form show where we've got an expert that you really want to hear from, who just speaks from their experience and shares with you some really cool stuff. but we're talking about trying to combine those platforms more and reduce the time we ask you to spend listening, because we acknowledge it's a lot. So what we've kind of discussed and we want your feedback on is we're thinking it looks like this first. We are thinking that instead of doing the morning show and the morning somewhere show 3 mornings a week, that it would be best, we could gather our community more and be less of a lift for everybody if we did 1 day a week. We were thinking about Friday. This is kind of arbitrary. But that way, you know, we're not Bankless, we're not Coinbase, we're not Decrypt. The second a piece of news comes out, you're probably not going to hear from us. But if we had 1 show a week that was a wrap-up show, anybody can tell you the headlines. We excel at context and also having a lot of fun doing it. Why is this important? What does it mean? And why does it matter to everyday people like us? So we were talking about doing a wrap-up show, maybe going a little longer, packing it full of all the good stuff you love. So instead of having to listen for, you know, I don't know how many hours you listen to us a week, save yourself.
Too many.
Listen to us once. We can have more of our community there, we hope. We'll still do POAPs, we'll still do games, all kinds of stuff like that. But it can be a more concentrated dose of your attention. And then when something is breaking, we'll just hop on a space, probably from the Faceless Many profile with Faceless Labs, because the Faceless Many has more reach and we want to be helpful to as many people as possible. You know, so if something breaks, Alex and I will be chatting about it and, you know, we'll hop on a Twitter space and we'll stream it so that you can come back to it later when it's convenient for you. But there's not this sense of, you know, FOMO. Bill's fingers aren't getting sore on the soundboard. And then shifting the Rising Up podcast to make it easy to do more, to make it less produced. So that looks like a live stream, just like this, instead of doing all the video production on the back end. And then folks can tune into it live with us, which is super cool because you can ask your questions if we have a neat expert on. And then maybe we can make the morning show platform kind of a blend. You know, maybe 1 week we do have a longer featured interview. Just generally speaking, we think it'll be a better return on your attention, a better return on our attention, will allow us to focus more on building that future, fulfilling that mission, and also delivering other kinds of value. I think it'll probably be an easier ask if we have a once a week Twitter space for someone to sponsor it and bring that bounty to the many.
Yep.
So Alex, did I miss anything in terms of what we were talking and thinking about? And, you know, Bill, you're up here with us. I would love your feedback on this. Anybody who's listening now, you're a valued member of the show audience. We really love you guys and love what you do to support us. We appreciate it. So if you have thoughts, if you have feedback on that, or if you have suggestions for improvement, you know, I always say good jokes, words of wisdom. We're really open to that feedback.
I got rugged.
I know you did. I'm so sorry, man. Do you have any thoughts about it?
I need that sound.
I know you do. I'm here for you, bro. If you send me the emoji, I'll try and watch my emojis. You can send me a thumb down emoji, and I'll know that you mean you want me to, or something. You know, we'll work out a system. Alex, what were you going to say, man?
I think that's pretty much what we had talked about. For a little bit of context, you know, we are in startup mode hard. Yeah. And we have, by NFT company standards, a huge team. But there really aren't that many of us to tackle like all of these departments to the scale that they need to be tackled if we maintain all of it. So like we would need someone on video production and editing and all that stuff like full time. And right now Mihir is doing a ton of that, you know, or we're spending a lot of money to get an outside agency to do it.
And Mihir, for context, for people who don't know because they don't see him as much, is a consultant at a firm that works mostly with Fortune 5 and 100 companies. So like he has a wealth of experience. He doesn't need to be doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
He needs to be talking to customers.
And we're cool with it because we are in startup mode and we all wear a lot of hats. All of us are wearing pretty much all of the hats right now. But we're getting to the point now where like, you know, we're getting interest from a few more clients. And in order to like have all of us spend the time with those clients to build the projects that they want us to build for them, something has to give somewhere else because we're in between the stages where we are able to spend all of our time with the clients, but then we also don't have enough to put, you know, 5 or 6 new people on salary to like start doing all of these other things full time. Yeah. So as much as I am honestly bummed. I would do this show every single morning.
Oh, I'd do it every day, man.
In a heartbeat. But there's a lot. I mean, and I spend some time behind the scenes doing this. Evan spends about 100 times more time than I do behind the scenes working on this. I mean, from all of his soundboard stuff to all of the Twitter stuff to all of the thumbnail stuff to all of the planning and the guest lineups.
Yeah,
And like
Evan does thumbnails.
Evan does all of that. And Evan also is way more valuable as that like direct liaison and interface with new customers and clients and stuff. So that's basically the biggest thing that we've been talking about lately is we have more stuff available now. We have more tools available now to build better projects for more clients. We need to be going out there, and all of our mentors say the same thing, because we do have several that we consult with on a regular basis.
Yeah, we're blessed with good advisors.
Yeah, and all of them say the same thing. Like, you guys are at the stage right now where you need to pounce. Like, you have the tools and the drive to execute on something. You need to be spending more time going out to more and more and more clients, and finding more and more customers, like to their face, like not trying to run an ad, not trying to do this or that, or just promote, blanket to everybody, got to go directly to it. So with all of that in mind, how can we still deliver all of the education and all of the information that we so desperately want to share with you and talk about all the cool stuff that we do? And so the answer that Evan and I have come up with is to streamline this whole content production wing just a little bit more. I mean, because we could totally spend more time than just the hour and 30 minutes, on that one a week show. I mean, I don't think we'd be hard pressed to literally sit here for 6 hours. I don't want.
We could
to
do
that.
Like one of those Twitter space influencer things where you go every day for like 20. I don't know. We really could. We're such nerds.
I mean, I have notebooks full of talking points that like I just simply will never have the time to get all of them out like on a full thing. And we would like to be focusing more efforts on YouTube. I guess for a little peek behind the curtain, Evan Mack and I ran an experiment with each other for the month of January, to increase our TikTok content, to try to be posting more and growing more and doing more over there. So we were holding each other accountable. We were in a little group chat. We had a specific goal. All of us met the goal for the entire month. I posted an average of like 9 to 10 videos every single week.
Prolific.
And I lost followers in the month of January. I did not gain a single, like I gained a few, but I lost way more than I gained. Thank you, Bill. I'm net negative so it was like, but think about how much time. So that represented probably like 10 hours a week of my time to do that. And those 10 hours were not hours that I was calling new clients and customers or trying to reach out to other businesses or other partnerships and collaborations or working on the YouTube stuff or, working on game development with Willem and all that sort of stuff. It was like time that I literally just, Evan, toilet, flushed straight down.
Yeah.
Thank you. Straight down the tube. I quite literally have nothing to show for it. And so that was a big bummer. So that kind of also, pushed us in the direction of like, well, we need to lean more into so hence the addition of the YouTube stream, which I love.
It's great to see your face, man.
Oh my God, this is so much better.
We have better conversations this way too,
100%. Yeah, it's so much better.
The people listening are like, you do? Sorry, guys.
So anyway, that was that was a lot.
Beautiful though.
The moral of the story is that we're not going anywhere. We're just going to change the method of presentation a little bit.
Yeah. And we, so let us know, does Friday, if we did the morning summer show at noon, once a week, we made it an extravaganza. We had the bingo card. We did all that stuff. We're not going to stop evolving it, growing it, making it good. Let us know if that would meet your needs or help us meet our goals to lead the financial revolution and empower the faceless many. And the other ask I have for you, this is another peek behind the curtain. Again, the financial revolution is not rev points for a Starbucks gift card, guys. Like, we love that. We're happy to do that. And we want to make that bigger. But the vision has always, I know, right?
I got another one.
Bing. The vision that we're trying to enact right now, because you're like, oh, they're doing a company. If you don't know, Faceless Labs is a consultancy that helps people like Dot Swoosh, like Puma, like whoever, implement at scale these Web3 visions. And a lot of the stuff that we are working on now, we can't talk about too much. But one of the things I can tell you is just to give you an idea and to ask for your help. We've been working on, prospecting lists of prospects, and these are prospects, companies, companies like Peloton. Could you imagine if Peloton had an NFT? Companies on my list, Chipotle, Target, but then also smaller companies. We divvied up industries. I'm going to talk to a bunch of different breweries and cannabis companies. Alex was talking about, can you imagine if gun owners had access to something like an NFT credential for their training, for safety, for the firearms that they own, all these kind of things, so we've got our different industries. We're making calls. And the ask I would have for you is, if you know somebody, our audience, you guys are smart. You really get this stuff. So if you're listening now or in the future and you work for a company that wants to implement NFT tech, Web3 tech, blockchain tech, but they're not sure how, or you yourself have an idea, or you have a connection to somebody, if you are a business owner, if you are a decision maker at a business, we're not interested in just selling, what's the saying? When you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. We're not interested in just selling you something. We are interested in qualifying different movers, shakers, storytellers from all industries who, like Coinbase will, like Nike will, like Reddit and Polygon and all of them will, onboard the next people to this movement so that online becomes the new on-chain, that people can become their own banks, that they can access the benefits of sovereignty, ownership, decentralization. If you got the hookup, hook us up and give us your feedback. We want you to be part of that. And I realize we don't talk about that enough, I don't think. A lot of it is because, we're working with clients. We got to do, NDAs and stuff like that until things launch. But this is all speculative. We could go after anybody. We could go after NASA, if there's a reason to do it.
That was one of the points that we made the other day, looking at .swoosh, and then especially hearing what Daniel said about, they've been working on this since 2015. Like, okay, so that's a huge leg up that they've had, that they've been working on this. So like, if any other company wants to, jump on and start looking at this kind of an integration for them, and they haven't been preparing for that long, maybe they don't have the department, they don't have the resources for that, we are the resource.
Yeah, we have been preparing for it.
Yeah.
For you.
Yep. And I mean, we're super accessible. So it's and personally, if someone like brought us a sweet connection that turned out to be an awesome deal, I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah. We pay you for that.
Yeah. That's not enough.
Don't get me wrong.
That's a commission.
That's a commission. Yeah. That's a commission. So, yeah, exactly. So, so that's why we want to make this shift, is because we need to focus as much time as possible. If that is our mission, to lead the financial revolution and empower the faceless many, we need to do as much as possible to we've established Faceless Labs. It's here. It's not going anywhere, but we want to grow it in a meaningful way that benefits our whole community and the many who've yet to join us. Because those are the people. If you were here in the start, in 2021, when we were telling this story for the first time, I was saying a lot. We all were talking about bringing a new light, the first light. The Prometheans received it first. And then those at the Rivening, the mint, they received this token. But the token is just a symbol for those who become the faceless many to divide the earth with a new light of blockchain knowledge, to make it whole again. And that's what we're doing, people. Yep. So, it's a long game. I'll probably be gray. But we want to take steps toward it. And that's what that looks like. So give us your feedback. Let us know what that means to you for the show, as a lover of the show. And
quick feedback.
Yes, that was going to be my next ask.
Quick hitting feedback. Sad that we wouldn't do this 3 times a week. My fingers will be able to recover. But I must say, the worst part about the show is that when I can't make it, the FOMO that I experience is just, so if it's concentrated, I can set aside that time better and say, nope, can't do that. I can't go do that meeting or have that appointment, because that's the day, right? So I think it's the best of both worlds.
Well, thank you, my friend. And honestly, Bill, the show is really not the same without you. It's like watching Friends without a laugh track, kind of. It's like kind of how it feels. I'll say something and I'm waiting for ping. So like, so we love you, man. We really do.
Let's do this one.
It's funny, Mac
What'd Mac
just
say?
texted me, and this is a very classic Mac text. Either I send him this text or he sends me this text, and it's just like a, hey, lightning bolt moment. What are you doing? And it's just like a, hey, can I call you really quick? I'm like, yeah, we're wrapping up. He's like, I have an idea. I think we can start looking for additional salespeople. And I'm like, yeah, Evan and I are literally having that.
We're recruiting right now.
On the air right now.
Yeah. So, you know, in case we didn't make it explicit, if you are interested in that kind of work and you want to help us spread the word and help us reach people, like, you know, call us. We're giving commissions, and it's you know, it's an open field. We're building the future of the internet, people.
Yep.
What don't you get?
I mean, that's really what
not you guys listening, but you know
what the financial revolution has always looked like in my head, at least, right? Was like, yeah, okay, let's have fun, let's gather everyone together, let's you know, the gift cards and all that stuff are fun. It's not the realization of the mission.
No.
You know, but in order to drive a group towards the realization of a mission, you first need unity, and people need to genuinely enjoy being there and spending their time there, and be willing to, you know, give up a piece of their day to check in and you know, mingle with these new friends and whatever they're making. And so little events and stuff like that are fun. You know, like, no one thinks that the minis are going to bring about the revolution. Hey, maybe they will. Who knows?
Hey, strong but mighty.
But they're fun as hell.
They're totally bringing about the revolution.
The financial revolution.
That mini world, we're just living in it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I think that's probably a pretty good place to cap it. What you said about unity, and I mean, that made me feel warm. I have always dreamed of, you know, we are the architects. Then there are the Prometheans. There are the many who've yet to join us. And I just get so excited thinking about all of the people. You know, every time I see another project that's got to like close its doors or whatever, or somebody steps away, they get discouraged. That makes me sad, but it also makes me excited to think that we're here and we have a fire going, and it's getting bigger. And the more people who light their torch, the bigger the fire gets, and the easier it is for the people who can't see in the darkness to find the light and join us. So thank you, Bill.
That was the realization that we had. Essentially that. It's like, there's a big difference between the way that things are progressing for us versus progressing for people who maybe didn't plan for the bear market to last this long, or, you know, realize that they were too reliant on hype or whatever. It's like, we need to trim some different areas, and time sucks because the focal piece of the business is growing, and we have to be able to keep up with it. Otherwise, we're going to lose the momentum and the time. Yeah.
So thank you for being a part of it, Alex. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Always.
Bill, we love you. Neil, Kat, all our friends in the audience, everybody on the YouTube stream. I think it's time for, are you crying? It's okay, man.
Just a little bit, you know.
Be strong.
Right now it's that time. If anyone from the South knows exactly what time, right now it's the time where I need to go out with a leaf, literally with a leaf blower, and blow the pollen off of my driveway and my cars and my patio furniture. Like yesterday, I was blowing clouds of pollen off of my, like, just yellow rivers of pollen when it rains. So dude, huge shout out to Allergy Shots. I had a
sponsor us.
It's spot. Yeah. I don't know what company it was or whatever, but hey, my allergy doctor from when I was a teenager, you know, sponsor me.
My sincerest apologies, guys. I thought that when he was talking about the wind, that this picture of the wind would have signified the wind. I didn't realize it was going to be a fire.
No, it was perfect, dude. That's what I imagine the trees did when they just dumped it all. Just,
oh my God. It's incredible that I can exist outside with all of this, like leaf blowing. Because I mean, there was a time in my life where my eyes would have been swollen shut, can't breathe, whatever.
Making my nose run just thinking about going outside.
No, it's rough. So right now it's that time where me and Echo, both of us, we're getting hit with the allergies real hard. So
well, my friends,
brutal time.
Let's go face the allergies. Give us a final thought. Bill, have you got a final thought for us today?
Yeah. So for you and me, when Alex goes and has one of these really good quips that we want to record, I'm gonna just hit it with a marker of a dog. The bark now is only for that. Like that was something we want to record. That way you'll be able to find it really quick.
Noted.
Does that sound?
Sounds beautiful.
Got it. Perfect.
I'm right here.
That's a good one. Yeah.
You wish to proceed.
Alex, what about you, man? Have you got a final thought for us today?
No, man, I'm satiated. It is worth noting that we will be on Friday, all things as normal. We will be here as normal on Friday.
Yeah, that's right.
And on Friday we will talk about the airdrop more.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
I'll have more information coming out about that. I'm setting it up with Willem, but Toy Box, Faceless Many Toy Box airdrop. If you hold a TFM, you will receive one. That will happen Friday, Saturday, depending on me and Willem's time zones lining up, but somewhere in that 24-hour window.
Hey, will you do me a favor and just stall for 30 more seconds?
Evan, I can't talk. What are you talking about? I have nothing to possibly fill up the time here. 30 more seconds.
I've got it filled. Hold on. Listen.
If I don't say something, Bill's just going to hit sound button after sound button and just fill it all up.
Right. What you got, Bill?
With this sound and the minis coming out, I feel like you should. It's almost back to the Stone Ages. Behold the minis.
That's a great sound.
I really do love it. Okay, I'm good.
I know you do better with it, Evan, but you know that's the.
No, actually, that was pretty triumphant. Are you a squire?
No.
Have you ever been a page boy? Would you like to start? The King's Own page boy. Okay, I'm good now.
With John Lovett's acting.
Acting. Yeah, with
Of
your
course.
teeth.
Now that you said page boy, I'm thinking of the who is it? Oh my God. It's the history of the world. Is that a Mel Brooks?
Are you thinking the history of the world?
Monty Python?
Yeah. Are you thinking of This Is the World? It is Le Tired? That one? History of the World?
No, the full-length movie, History of the World, with like the Piss Boy skit.
I don't think I know it, actually, honestly.
Okay, Evan, you don't know anything about movies that have ever been made. Bill, I'm looking at you. Are you familiar with the Piss Boy?
No, I'm not.
Oh my God. Okay, well now I just sound like a crazy person because no one understands the reference. Someone has to understand this reference.
No, but the fact that it's called the Piss Boy is kind of like bringing you full circle.
It really is, yeah. It's just this funny skit. It's a Monty Python-esque skit. It's a Mel Brooks movie. I know that much, but
I believe you.
There's, they're like out. It's the Royal Tennis Court or whatever, and all the royalty is out there. And there's a guy whose job is the piss boy. He just runs around with his big bucket, and when the wealthy, royal people need to relieve themselves, he stands in front of them with the bucket. But he's like an identical twin with the king. And so they get them mixed up, and it's just this very funny, like everyone's going and peeing on the king because he looks like the piss boy.
And that's the news you needed this morning.
You're welcome.
For something completely different.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with the...
That was another reference, Evan.
I know it was. Listen, just because I don't know any movies, that's on the bingo card. Somebody makes a pop culture reference or a movie reference, and Evan has no idea. All right, here you go. I got a crypto fortune cookie for you today.
Yes,
and it's taking us right back to the start. You can't polish a turd, but if it's worth $1 million, who cares? Thank you very much, Bill. My friends, that's going to do it for us. I am so glad you tuned in today. We are going to be back here, same spot, Friday. Yes, Friday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. UTC. It'll be time to wake up and smell the crypto. So don't hit snooze. Morning, noon, or night. Join us wherever you are on the official Morning Somewhere show of the Financial Revolution. And until then, my friends, rise up.
Gurus are idiots. The goal here is just to get views. It's not necessarily to educate people.
Try to run other side. Break on through to the other side.
I mean, isn't it pretty obvious what's happening?
Oh, I just rugged Jim Morrison. How do you feel about that?
How could you? Flush.
It happened with the soundboard, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody go get your POAPs. I'm ending the stream after I tell you that,
I will absolutely die on this hill.
and of course,
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
until next time, my friends, Alex, have a good day. Bill, have a good day. Break on through. Bye, my friends.